every president before Trump has submitted their tax information upon presidency without any hesitation. They just did it. Except for one, Donald J. Trump. He kept telling you, oh, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It's, it's being audited. It's being, I will release them as soon as it's done being audited. Remember that? But then 4 years came and nothing got released. So one man took it upon himself to go ahead and illegally release it, which he is currently sitting in jail for. But the Trump administration goes, well, no, 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 that was Biden going after me, which it really wasn't. That's why the guy's in jail. He's like, I'm going to sue the government for $10 billion because I was hurt. Yeah, sure. Any guy who sits inside the presidency for a second time can show irreparable damages. Of course he can. So he sits there and he goes on this boosting spree, right? And he's like, I get to sue myself. I've never had to do that. Like, he is so flattered to having to sue himself. And he's like, I get to settle with myself. Like, he's just so proud of himself for being able to do that. But a judge goes, no, you can't do that. That is a conflict of interest. You're going to need to submit some more information to me within a few days. So Trump quickly reverts and does a 180 and goes, well, wait. I'm going to be a nice guy. And I'm not going to sue the government anymore on my behalf. I'm going to sue on your behalf. So if you felt like you were wronged by the Biden administration, I'll give you some money. I'm going to go ahead and put it into a fund. And you guys were all like, yay, because you guys were already clapping over the 10 billion. So why not? So anybody who did the J6 insurrection, who broke into the Capitol, who broke out all those windows, who beat police officers, because we back the blue, unless it doesn't, benefit us, and then it's fuck the blue, and then you guys will sit there and go, oh, but it's the left, they want to defund the police, but you just beat the shit out of them, and then, get pardoned, and you're fine with it, and now you get to have a good payout for beating the shit out of the police. Congrats. Your mama must be so proud of you. So the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers who were there, and you guys call them Antifa, because whenever you guys were sitting there going, oh, Antifa, Proud Boys goes, now that was us. Like, they immediately took credit for it. But you guys didn't want to hear it. You were like, no, it was Antifa. It was Antifa. Meanwhile, President Trump told everybody to go home 4 hours later and said, I'm very proud of you. Proud of Antifa? All right. But then he went ahead and he pardoned all the J6ers, even including the violent ones who beat the crap out of police officers. Hey, back to blue. It didn't pertain to me. Fuck you. So all of those who violently beat the crap out of police officers are now set free. Now, a lot of them actually have gone back to jail for other crimes, but we won't talk about that. So now he's saying, if you were hurt by the Biden administration, we're going to go ahead and put this fund of $1.7 billion because I'm such a nice guy. I'm going to give up my lawsuit for you. Even though the judge said, hey, submit me the evidence. And Trump didn't want to do that. So now he's reverting and making himself look good, going, I'm doing this for you. And he's not. He's doing it to protect his own ass. Because the one thing he's not going to tell you is his businesses can go ahead and sue. His businesses can go ahead and grab up majority of that money that Trump is setting aside for supposedly the American people. You guys will sit there and clap and go, yay, he's for the people. He's giving those J6ers their due justice and giving them money for it, because he's already promised you Doge checks. They didn't come. He promised you tariff checks. They didn't come. Do you really think you'll get a check out of this? I mean, with all the promises that were not tended to, do you think this is the one he's going to keep? No, because he's going to find a way to say his businesses were hurt. His businesses should get that money, not you. And you guys will still clap and cheer. No matter what he does, you're clapping and cheering for a guy who's riddled throughout the Mr. Jeffrey E. files. And you guys sit there and make excuses. So you're making excuses for P3 because, you're only worried about the Democrats in there. You guys sit there and chastise Portland, which was bad, but not J6. Oh, because it was Antifa. No, take credit for it. And why are you so against being Antifa? Antifa means just anti-fascist, which means you just don't want a fascist inside the freaking White House. It's not even a group, it's an idealization. But you guys are so against it because they tell you to be against it. And then that's the big boogeyman because they don't want you joining together and going against the government. Now, let's look at his other pardons. I've already done videos on this. Who he pardons, they're all fraudsters, and none of them have to pay back restitution. Like millions of dollars that people scam you out of and have gone to jail for, he pardons and says, no, you don't have to give that money back. So he screws you over and over. And you're just like, yay, harder, daddy, harder. I just don't get it. And you guys will go, where's the proof? Literally, Google is free. Go out and search it. I don't know why that's so hard. Oh, but we can't do anything outside of Blaze and Fox News and Newsmax because anything outside of that is fake news. You think about that one. You have such a small circle of information that you can get. Small, very small. Meanwhile, the vast pool of media is fake news because that's what they have keep telling you, and you keep going, oh, that must be true. So while we know he's already conned the American people out of the watches by changing their terms and conditions and saying that, oh, maybe we'll produce them, maybe we won't, but it's not a guarantee of sale if you gave us $100 deposit and 600,000 people did. And then they were like, well, if we decide to go ahead and make them, then maybe you'll get it. But there's no guarantee. But you're okay with that. On my last video, you guys were like, no, that's not true. Even though I showed you the terms and conditions, you were just like, no, that's not true. He is a con artist who has literally thieved from charities, children's charities, dog charities. His whole entire family are thieves. And you guys were like, oh, he's the best businessman. He's had 6 bankruptcies. That's what a good businessman does. But a company that files bankruptcy once and needs help, you're like, well, they've already filed it once. They're not financially responsible. Shouldn't get the bailout. You guys have this idealization that it's no longer about the crime. It's about party affiliation. So the crime could be riddled throughout your party. You don't care. You just care about the party affiliation. So 2 of the same crimes can happen. If one's a Republican, you'll defend. If one's a Democrat, you'll be like, persecute, persecute, persecute. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be, crime is a crime. No matter what the party affiliation is, it's a crime. So we should be looking at the matters of the crime. But you don't. You have to, this is what we get in a polarization country. Like it's so politically divided that even crime is being debated. Is it really a crime though? I mean, he stole from us, but is that really a crime? Like, he's pillaging from the government, but is that really a crime? Oh, but Biden gave out, checks for COVID. Oh my God, that was so horrible. But Trump's a hero when he did it, and he did it in a larger check. I don't get it. That is cult mentality. We need to start looking at things, the crime, the merits. The merits of the crime should matter, not the party affiliation. And that's where we need to get back to in this country. And until we do, we're screwed.